Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The Browns just wrapped up a game that on paper looked like another tough challenge, but if you watched it carefully, you know this was much more than just a game. It was a roller coaster, a story of resilience, mistakes, and some moments that could define the season. And it all happened in England, a rare international stage for the NFL, where the Browns faced the Minnesota Vikings. The final score, 21-17, with Cleveland falling just short. But what makes this game so interesting isn't just the final score or the fact that Cleveland's record drops to 1-4, it's the story behind it. It's about how close they came, how they led late into the fourth quarter, and how, in the end, a single play decided everything. You see, Cleveland had the lead with just 25 seconds remaining, and it looked like they had done enough to secure a victory on foreign soil. But then, in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Carson Wentz, the Vikings quarterback, managed to find Jordan Addison in the end zone for what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's a story we've seen before. Close games, last-minute heroics, and a defense that, despite their effort, couldn't quite hold the line when it mattered most. Now, one of the most striking aspects of this game was how the Browns' defense performed overall. They showed grit, they forced turnovers, 2 fumbles and 2 sacks to be exact. They played with intensity and at times looked like the dominant unit we know they can be. But then, in critical moments, a miscommunication, a missed assignment, and everything unraveled. And that's where it gets really intriguing. Because after the game, Denzel Ward, one of the Browns' star cornerbacks, took full responsibility. He said he took a bad route on that final play, a route that directly led to Addison's game-winning score. Ward was honest, straightforward, and it's that kind of accountability that shows the mindset of a leader. Ward explained, "Yeah, we were in cover 2, and I got to reroute the guy inside and not put it so wide for the safety." That's a pretty honest assessment from a guy who's been a key piece of Cleveland's secondary. He admitted he could have done better, that he needed to finish his coverage and execute more precisely. It's a testament to how much the team relies on their stars to make those plays, and when they don't, it can be costly. But let's not forget, Ward was also busy covering Justin Jefferson, the Vikings wide receiver who had himself a game, 7 receptions for 128 yards. Jefferson was a matchup nightmare for Cleveland's secondary all day, and Ward, even with his efforts, was tested repeatedly. Ward himself acknowledged how tough Jefferson was to defend, saying, "He was straight. He caught some balls in the zones. He showed up when it counted in the last minutes of the game." It's a reminder that in the NFL, even the best can sometimes be overwhelmed by a talented receiver in a crucial moment. And yet, despite that, there's a lot to like about what Cleveland's defense showed in this game. They fought hard, they created turnovers, and they kept the team in it until the final seconds. But the reality is, the defense was also feeling the weight of the loss. Greg Newsome, another key cornerback, pointedly said after the game that the blame falls on the defense for not being able to stop the Vikings on their final drive. He expressed the frustration shared across the locker room, emphasizing that they had the lead, they got the ball back in the last possession, and yet they couldn't close it out. That's a tough pill for any team to swallow. What's clear is that Cleveland's defense is battling, trying to find consistency, trying to tighten up those crucial moments. Alex Wright, the defensive end, was vocal about the need for improvement. He said, "We did a lot of talking about losses and stuff like that, but now we just got to show because we done took L after L." Wright's words reflect the urgency within the team. They realize they can't keep talking about doing better, they have to put it into action. He added, "Other than that, I feel like we did have good spurts. We had bad spurts and that's just the flow of the game. But overall, we just got to do better, we just got to finish." So, what does all this tell us? It's clear that Cleveland's defense, while showing flashes of brilliance, still needs to find that consistency. The fact that they managed to force turnovers and sack Wentz twice shows potential, but the last-minute breakdown reminds us how fragile momentum can be. It's about execution at the right moments, and right now, the Browns are still searching for that perfect balance. And then, of course, there's the coaching staff. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, was candid after the game, saying, "We need to do a better job closing out, and that's an offensive thing, defensive, special teams, coaches, players, you name it." His words reflect a team that's aware of their shortcomings and understands that every phase of the game needs to be sharper. The frustration is palpable because Cleveland has been so close. So many games that could have gone differently with just a few better plays or more focus in those critical moments. And this game, again, exemplifies that delicate balance between victory and defeat. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Browns are now on a 2-game losing streak, and for a team with postseason aspirations, that's a tough spot to be in. The season is still young, but each loss adds pressure, especially when the margin for error is so slim. The AFC North is a fiercely competitive division, with teams that are not just talented but also resilient. The Pittsburgh Steelers, their next opponent, are no joke, an AFC North rivalry that's always intense, always physical. Cleveland will head on the road this week, looking to bounce back, to prove that they can finish games stronger, and to correct the mistakes that have haunted them in these tight finishes. Looking at this season so far, it's evident that the Browns have some key players who are stepping up, but also some areas that need serious improvement. The offense, for example, has been inconsistent at times, but when they got the ball in the final moments, they had a chance to seal the deal. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't do enough to hold that lead. That's a recurring theme for Cleveland: great effort, but sometimes just not enough at the end. Their record might not reflect it yet, but this team has the talent and the potential to turn things around. It's about fixing those critical breakdowns, sharpening execution, and maintaining focus in those clutch moments. And let's not forget, this game also highlights the importance of leadership and accountability. Denzel Ward's honesty about his mistake shows a team that's willing to own its flaws and learn from them. That's a sign of a mature team, one that's determined to improve, no matter how tough the setbacks. Browns have a roster full of talented players who are hungry to make a mark, and even though this loss hurts, it's also a learning opportunity. They're still in the early stages of the season, and there's plenty of football left to play. As Cleveland prepares for their next game against the Steelers, they'll be looking to bounce back, to tighten up the defense, and to execute better in those late-game situations. The coaching staff will be pushing the players harder, emphasizing discipline, focus, and finishing strong. It's a long season, and one game doesn't define everything, but every game teaches you lessons. Lessons about resilience, about humility, and about the relentless pursuit of improvement. The Browns are a team with a rich history, a passionate fan base, and a lot of talent. They've shown they can compete with the best, but now they need to turn those moments of promise into consistent victories. So, Browns fans, stay optimistic but realistic. This season is still a work in progress, and every game is a new opportunity to grow. The defense, despite the recent setbacks, has the pieces to be a top-tier unit. The offense has shown flashes of brilliance, and with better execution, they can be even more dangerous. It's about learning from these close calls, correcting mistakes, and pushing forward. The AFC North remains a tough division, but Cleveland has what it takes to be a formidable contender if they can just close out those tight games. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this game? Do you believe the team can turn things around? Are you confident in the coaching staff's ability to make the necessary adjustments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and all the latest news you need to stay ahead of the game. Stay passionate, stay dedicated, and let's keep supporting this incredible team through every challenge and every victory. Because at the end of the day, we're all part of the Cleveland Browns family, and together, we believe in the future of this franchise. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next update.